Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. First question: how about that? How was that? That was a very interesting win, and we loved it, and it was very enjoyable to watch. Yeah, the first half really went well, and an early goal again, which is more like a pattern that we're beginning to see with Ruben Amorim's teams now. Like we're seeing that we're scoring early, at least two games now. We've got one win, one draw, and still unbeaten since Eric Ten Hag was sacked. But yeah, we've had a really good game, and I can talk about a few things that took place in the game, and how we got to where we are right now. But then Man United won with a brace from Rasmus Højlund and an assist from Højlund and a goal from Garnacho. A few positives that we can take, or so many positives that we can take, but it's an impressive comeback which sees Man United avert a potential disaster at Old Trafford as they defeat Bodo Glimt 3 goals to 2. Um, Also, this what this means for us in Europe is that we leapfrog the Norwegian champions in the Europa League table and we go to 12th. But also, Ruben Amorim's men ultimately gave the new boss a home debut to remember. One that, you know, for all reasons, um, they recovered from a 2-1 um, down, uh, almost defeat in the first half, thanks to clinical double from Rasmus Højlund. I mean, Garnacho also had given the host the first time, uh, given Man United the first half lead in the first minute, and then they gained the foothold in the game. I mean, Bodo Glimt gained the foothold in the game. As always, they tried to press. They tried to, press in between the lines, as I said in our preview video, that they pressed in between the lines and tried to catch us on the counter. There's so many highlights and so many lowlights in the game. But one of the lowlights in the game that we can talk about is Ma, uh, Tyro Malacia is not fully back to full match fitness, but he got a run in the first half. He had a lot of touches of the ball, a lot of touches of the ball. Um, we could go on picking every player, but we're going to do that in the player rating. But what I can say for a fact is this: that after Bodo Glimt getting a foothold and scored two quick goals, um, it was noticeably silent at Old Trafford. Basically, that the stadium was totally silent. Um, but then, up until the final whistle, we had a very good XG of 2.63, while Bodo Glimt had a 0.77 XG by the final whistle. But before that, United took charge of the game in the second half and ran out deserved winners. You know, the next game for us at home is a game against Everton in the Premier League. While basically, like I said in the previous game, Bodo Glimt are going to play in their final league game to win the league. And basically, I would say overall that the team played well, but there's a lot of work to be done. There's work still to be done. There's a lot of work that needs to be put in place to ensure that we achieve great success as a club. But overall, Ruben Amorim did all that he needed to do to ensure that we achieved great success in the game and achieved great success in the as a team, basically. And there are so many things that we could talk about how he changed the formation a little bit only for us to get a goal and then changed it back. It was observable, but I felt like it was not so much of a change. It was more of a tactical change or more like a system tweak. We stuck with our three at the back all through first half, and then second half we changed it to 4-2-3-1 and changed it back to 3-5-2, to 3-4-3. Or 3-4-2-2-1 or something, but it was more of a tweak that led to the goal and then they switched back to the formation. It was good to see that he tried Marcus Rashford between the lines, and that is as one of the tens. And he was making runs and still running into space. It was also good to see Garnacho still try to play, but he was struggling a little bit, and decision making was also a problem as well for him. Which I know with time he's gonna learn in this system. But the fact that Ruben Amorim trusts him to be able to deliver in the games was very key. But then there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot. Like a few stats we can focus on right now would be total shots. We had 9 and 3 on target. It's against Bodo Glimt's 4-2 on target. So we could have done better, but there's still a lot to do, a lot of work. So this was in the first half. We had 9 shots, so which means we're trying 9 shots and 3 on target. Basically, shots inside the box we had 6 and they had 3, and shots outside the box we had 3 and they had 1. So total passes we had 390 in the first half and 127 in the second, into Bodo Glimt's 127. Accurate passes we had 92%, which is 359, and they had 76%. But we had more passes in our own half, and we had more passes in our own half than they had in theirs, and we had 223 passes in the opposition half as well. So we held the ball, and basically held them to a 76 to 24 ball possession, and we ended the first half with an XG of 1.29 to Bodo Glimt's 0.68. But then there's a whole lot to make out of the game. We both um Bodo Glimt and Manchester United created the same big chances. One big chance in the first half, but in the second half it was kind of the same, but we kind of let loose a little bit. And ball possession was about 69 to 31%. And expected goals, we ended the half with expected goals of 1.34 as opposed to Bodo Glimt's 0.09, because we seldom let them create any chance. We had 11 shots with 3 on target as well, just as the first half, with 4 big chances, so we are creating more chances. Um, and then they had 11 shots with 2 on target. They had 3 shots with 2 on target and no big chance created, no big chance missed. We missed 3 big chances. We also hit the woodwork thanks to Mason Mount, who had a good game, and he seems to be like settling well in this Amorim setup as one of the two tens, right? But overall, in all of the game, we ended the game with 72% possession, to 28% for Bodo Glimt. And we also had an expected goal of 2.63 overall to 0.77 for them. And we had a total of 20 shots and less shots for us. So many players stood out. Um, players like Andre Onana in goal, great saves, couple of saves to keep us in the game, saved the impressive free kick and all of that. And then players like Rasmus Højlund, yeah, held up play properly. He's starting to get used to the system, and he said in his interview towards the end of the game that it reminds him of when he played in the same system at Atalanta, and it's coming good. For me, um, everybody would say Nusre Mazarawi is their man of the match. For me, it was Manuel Ugarte that was my man of the match. He created an assist, and he won his duels. Yes, a few missed passes here and there, but he won his duels. I'm gonna try to read some stats for you with respect to Manuel Ugarte as a man of the match. Obviously, the game's man of the match will probably be um, Rasmus Højlund, and the second would probably be Nuse Mazarawi. But for me, it was basically Manuel Ugarte. He had 60 passes completed. That's 92%, 92.3%. He won 5 duels. He won 4 tackles. He won 3 interceptions and 2 clearances, 1 assist. So he's really, really settling well with he's really, really settling well with this Amorim system because he's been used to it and he played it before under Amorim. So there's a whole lot of positives to take from the game. But what I can say is that right off the bat, this game was a good game to watch. It was a bit there was a bit of a control situation where Bruno Fernandes was trying to control the game from the midfield. He played as one of the two tens in the last game against Ipswich, and now he was playing as one of the two midfielders, two sixes, which means that there is a time for adapting, there is a time for being versatile, and Bruno Fernandes showed it, even though it was very important to note that he was off the pace, trying to catch up with the system when we got scored against in the second goal. So, but then it is very important that we give this system time to for these players to gel and for these players to blend in. And one thing I could also say that I noticed in the game is that Ruben Amorim is not scared to make changes. He's not scared to adapt, and this is what we're going to look at when we talk about the seven takeaways. And also we're going to also do a player rating, and we're going to talk about it. But Ruben Amorim, for me, was not scared to adapt, was not scared to make changes. In second half, he just quickly made changes, and the game changed for good. In the first half, Tyrone Malacia was playing as a wide left winger, left wing back as well. Tyrone Malacia was playing as a wide left wing back, but and by the time uh, Zogodalo came in, he came in as an inside wing back, which made Ganacho play out wide and come back into to talking as one of the two tens. Marcus Rashford had a decent game. Ganacho had a decent game, and the rest of the team as well. But what I can say is that everybody needs to just give this team time to gel, because it's going to be tough, and we're going to have teething problems, and it's a work in progress, where there's no need to start putting pressure on, piling on pressure on the manager. He's going to get it right, and it's going to take some time, but we need to build and build and build and keep building. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so that you will get notified when we post a new video. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers. Keep subscribing and keep hitting the notification bell so we can grow this community together. Thank you so much. Have a good one. I'll see you when the player ratings and the seven takeaways come out in the morning. Take care. God bless. Goodbye.